Back in the saddle again. The juggernaut that is M3 is 3D continues to jug. Or not. Well, I have been working on a whole bunch of things for hours to get the shop ready to produce once again. And I think we finally got there. Making filament, and I think we're actually gonna do some Erank. Not on new products, but we're gonna rehab old products. I've just been thinking about some of the products that we did Erank on, like the Tupac pipe holder, and the fact that we've sold a few of those, and that was an older product, it wasn't a new one we came out with. And so I think we're going to go through some old product listings and optimize them. So a good one used to be a big seller, Mark Twain headphone stand. We've got a whole bunch of tags that are like the old school tags from 2019. We're gonna just get rid of them and start from scratch. Got a bunch of new keywords. A lot of it's just generic sort of literature stuff, but the numbers on these were pretty good. And there's something called Librarian Core. I have no idea what that is, but perhaps they will like Mark Twain. All right, good old Twain is updated, yeah. We will know if this has an effect, because there's only been 5 visits in 30 days. So yeah, nice and clear cut. Next, we're gonna do one. It is the Cobra headphone stand. This has sold a few over the years. I always thought it had so much potential. They look so cool, and yet not a lot of sales. So we're gonna rehab this bad boy. Oh yeah, mailman, we're back, baby. Here we go. Some nice new keywords, bright and shiny. There we go, changed out title tags, description. Over the years, we have sold almost $100 worth of them, but that's nothing. That's very, very, very small. So we're gonna see if we get a market increase. I think it's a product that really has had potential for a long time. Looks very cool on your desk, and we'll see what happens. Another delicious I said rabbi steak. Ribeye steak. We took the pictures of the copper finish Octo before the trip, and I listed it now. So that is our good deed for the day. Bam. Well, we have the Popsicle. I think we're going to paint it real quick, and we'll at least get a sneak preview by the end of the episode, so stay tuned. Let's paint a couple things. Of course, you know Mr. Alligator. Got a little Sharko. Of course, we've got just a classic honey badger skull here. So this is a fun little custom jobby here. This is my David Bowie trash can, but they wanted a 6-inch version. Really small, you know. So we are making that. And of course, a Socrates pipe. Here we've got another Octo. And we've got another Octo. Some before photos. Got these guys are going sunset fade. Everything over there is going bronze. Already did the silver Octo, and we've got a little Sharky over there. And after some very nice sunset fade, boys. Bronze, still got the silver, and of course, very nice Sharky. Alrighty, everybody. It's not quite dry yet. We're gonna still give you that sneak peek. I wanted to do a few coats, get the color really even, but I mean, that's a pretty good looking Popsicle right there. You know, it's got the ridges and everything. Of course, the stick is over here. We'll get official photos tomorrow, so stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. I mean, what could be more fun, more summery, and just generally more joyous than a giant Popsicle? Sticky though. I think we're gonna do a little more Erank. I was trying to find when specifically we optimized the Tupac pipe, but you'll notice every time you see one of these green ones, every time you see green here, that means it gained another view or two. There's 2, And each of these rows is 1 day. So this is the entire history of the listing. And you can see we had a few hundred total views. And here we are in the 300s. Now this is lifetime, it's not per month or something like that. Basically the point of saying all this is the Erank really did make a difference. So that's nice. I think a good one to resurrect here would be the Gold Eagle guitar hanger. Obviously the guitar hangers are doing good. It may just be that the keywords aren't really great for this one. This was released several years ago, so let's do it. Okay, I was looking at my Eagles here, and actually that has 100 visits last 30 days. This has 93. That's pretty good. But the black one only has 2, so I think we're gonna do it with the black Eagle guitar hanger. Here we go. Starting with a blank slate. Here we go. Fresh keywords, baby. First day back at the grind. Kind of a random thought, but there's some place, I want to say in Scandinavia, where they've banked the seeds of almost every kind of plant. I wonder if there's any central repository for the DNA or like portions of DNA for like every animal that exists. Because eventually it's like maybe we can sequence them and bring them back even if they go extinct. If not, somebody should do that. I'm sure within 100 years, if there's some extinct fish, we can probably like synthesize it and bring it back if we've got the DNA. What a wild thought. Several people joined the Discord, link below. Toasty O's says, did you give them a fake name at something tasty? So I took some time to try and figure out why he might say this. It's because the drink said Matthew on it, but it's a verse from the book of Matthew that was on the drink. I thought the same thing because my name is Mark. It seemed like a weird mistake to make. 9 Knee Draggers says, awesome video M3, prints, adventure, food. Hit the trifecta in this one. Looking forward to see the rest of the trip. This is the first episode. Grateful for this community and for hardened steel nozzles, LOL. That's nothing to laugh about, son. Mopar Dudes asks, I had a thought when you played the music on the drive back, sir, and I was just wondering why you don't play M3 official original music. He wrote idiot. I don't think he meant to write that. Why you don't play M3's original music during the message. Awesome video, keep it up and thank you, sir. Well, I did. The music and the montages and at the end of these episodes now is original music by me. Toastios writes, I can understand buying VHS tapes at thrift stores. I've been buying Blu-ray movies and cutting streaming services as I am overall disappointed with them not living up to their potential. Also, it's a K, not an H. Dascalides. They make fancy chocolates. I actually looked it up when I got home after last episode. And yeah, I was trying to figure out where, we're talking about the picture with the guy with the pipe thing with the chocolates. I was thinking, here's what it probably is. There's a couple malls that closed down in Shreveport, and like there was probably candy shops that are like some of the last things that survived in those malls. If you remember when shopping malls used to exist, it got less and less, like less things were in the malls, but one of those things that tended to survive is like a candy store or maybe a bakery or something like that, but usually those gift stores with candy. And my best guess where that picture came from is when the last stores closed down at the mall and the whole thing closed. Probably one of the chocolate shops did. And I think that's where my picture comes from. It also kind of makes sense with the era it looks like it's from. It's a total guess, but if you live in Shreveport or around there and are familiar with what malls used to be there, tell me if that makes sense, because it seems possible. Internet user 87 says, glad you're making time to get out and see the world. Being an entrepreneur is liberating, but it also ties you down. Very true. There's a lot of jobs that tie you down too, though. It's all trade-offs. Malsinator says, not last, maybe. Fair enough. Jesse Greer says, Balzier, like you are not sure of something. He's saying Balzier City. But you add a slight Z in front of the S, almost nonchalant, you wouldn't even notice. Glad you liked Crawdaddies. Another broken egg is always too busy. Ain't nobody got time for that. You'll only find better Cajun food cooked at the house in a giant cast iron Dutch oven. That does sound delicious. Yeah, I gotta say Crawdaddies was, I almost can't let myself think about it. That's the mark of a great meal. You don't even want to think about it because you want to forget that food can be that good. Honestly, Cajun food reminds me a lot of Indian food. When you think about it, it's like there's a lot of rice involved. Things are sort of slow cooked. The sauces or whatever are like very thick and pungent, and it's really spicy. It's a lot more similar than you'd think. But yeah, that was quite an experience, and I'm glad the trip was nice. It was a very nice change of pace. Oh man. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that the Popsicle got done today, even if we didn't get photos. It's gonna make a nice new product for tomorrow. And it's just nice that everything's moving in the right direction. We got 4 products so far this week, and that's a good number considering we took a trip. So yeah, good times had by all. That's what I'm grateful for. Here at the Gratitude Gang, we are grateful for things. Write down in the comment section what you are grateful for today. What small joys have you received? What little details of life add a little richness to the tapestry that is your existence? Let me know in the comments. But I will catch you on the next episode, and it's been real, guys. Been very real. Peace.
Say what I need. This blinding arm of lessons I'm seeing to be standing in a moment. What has been is cast aside, frozen there as time rode. I know that you must have died. Something free, empty my possessions.